This classic D7 Caterpillar Bulldozer loves to move dirt and work around the farm, and in this tractor video, that's exactly what this old World War II veteran will do. Welcome to week 2 of groundwork in the rice fields. We've been working hard preparing to plant the 2019 rice crop here in California. Wait a second. You guys hear that in the distance? Pops operates his old D7 Caterpillar Bulldozer. The red Case IH 770 tillage disc comes out. I get a new hat. The land planes say, hey, I want some action. And things get physical here on the rice farm. Hashtag crop fit. But first, a quick recap from last week's tractor video. The old John Deere 8640 saves the day and gets our chisel plows through the muddy spots. Pop says we're ready for a second pass with the chisel plow and makes the necessary adjustments. I fill up a fuel wagon and film a toad. Yes, we've been working hard and fast while the tractors have been running smooth. We've been focusing the tractor work and horsepower on working the soil. But just as we have completed our second pass with the chisel plow, a bit of drama comes down on us like rain. Well, actually, the bit of drama is rain. A small thunderstorm pitter-patters on the windshields and we're forced to stop progress. The point of the chisel plow is to break up the soil so that it dries down. The point of the rain is to get things wet. We only lose half a day of work, and fortunately we don't have to redo an operation. With the ground opened up and being plowed, it's aerated. The following day's sun and wind dries it out quickly. We're able to hook up our Case IH 770 tillage discs. We use them to beat down or break up the slabs of soil that the chisel plows leave behind in the field. Progress speeds ahead as we turn dirt, breaking it down and further drying it out. All the tractors want in on the action. From the John Deere 8640 to the Case IH 340 Magnum, they're all pulling tillage discs, looking fancy. Pops is looking fancy, and the old Case IH 7240 pulling behind the ridger. He's building back up the levees in the rice fields. The levees divide the large fields into smaller checks or sections, which help with flood irrigation and water management. Ridging the levees fills in any rat holes or crawfish holes that would otherwise cause leaks, hurting our water proficiency. Isn't that right, little crawfish? You like digging holes, don't you? Of course you do! And the rats decline to be interviewed when approached by Rice Farming TV. But back to disking. We'll disc each field twice, just as we had done with the chisel plow. But in between each disking operation, we have a lot of miscellaneous field work to do. We do such field work in between the disking operations so that we have fresh, manageable soil after the first pass. And the eventual second pass with the disc will cover up our tire tracks and any evidence of us playing in the dirt. Let me elaborate, bringing me back to Pops' old D7 Caterpillar Bulldozer. In late winter, just before spring, we dug out portions of levees to help drain the winter water, in hopes to dry out the fields faster, in hopes to start the tractor work you see now sooner. Well, now that we're preparing to plant a new crop of rice, we need those levees built back up. And who was made to move dirt? The old John Deere 7520? No, that's still parked. Which tractor has a deep history of doing such work? That's right, the D7 Caterpillar Bulldozer. Pops pushes dirt from the corner of the field to help build back up the levee. This tractor has left behind a lot of history under its tracks. It was built in 1938, and I should mention that technically it's not a bulldozer. It's a crawler tractor with an attached bulldozer blade. Up until the early to mid 1970s, Pops and Uncle Jimmy planted their crop with 3 of these crawler tractors. That's right, all this spring tillage work, the plowing and disking, was done with them. They were even used in harvest to pull grain carts. The Rice Experiment Station in Biggs still uses a crawler tractor to this day. Here it's pulling a disc. Our neighbor around the way still uses this Allison Chalmers crawler tractor to pull this chisel plow, and even to pull a land plane. And check this out, to this day, past and present, working alongside one another. Pretty cool. Pops inherited this D7 Caterpillar from his daddy back in the 1960s. So this tractor has seen 3 generations of Sligers. And its history goes way back, even before my grandpa's farming operation. As I mentioned earlier, it's a World War II veteran. It's seen war, moving earth, just as it's doing here on our farm. Back then it wasn't yellow, but army green. And back then it wasn't building levees in rice fields, but doing such things like filling bomb holes, clearing rubble, and very importantly, building airstrips. Historians call World War II the first war where air power made a huge impact. But to be an air power war, it was first a construction war. Caterpillar crawler tractors, like this old boy here, were super instrumental in the US military's construction war. Pretty awesome. Back to the groundwork. Aside from Pops building up levees with the military-grade D7 Caterpillar, I'm styling with a military-grade Suncap from Bucra. I also have the old Massey Ferguson front loader, and I'm going to use it to scoop freshly disked dirt from the field and drop it on each side of our rice boxes. This fresh dirt is easy for us to scoop and shovel throughout the crop year if we need to seal off our gate boards for water management. 2 scoops with the front loader, 1 on each side, just to make sure we have enough. Otherwise, where else would we get it? Once the box is stocked with fresh dirt, it's on to the next one. And once the field work with the dozer and front loader are done, and the once disc soil dries out, it's time for the second pass with the disc. We adjust the setting so it doesn't go as deep this time around. We don't want to work up new soil, but rather just continue to break down the dirt clods into even more manageable sized pieces. Isn't that right, little baby cottontail rabbit? Silent treatment? Fine. That's fine. After the second pass with the disc, it's time to smooth out the field. It's time to hook up our land planes, and once in the field, Pops adjusts the bucket so that it's grabbing just the right amount of soil. We use the land planes to grade out any high spots and fill in any low spots in the field. It really helps with water management and ensures that we have a uniform level of irrigation water across our rice fields. And speaking about water, it's time to clean out our rice boxes to help ensure a quick flood once the rice fields are ready for irrigation water. While the tractors pull the land planes, I push the shovel and help clear blocked up rice boxes. We also have rice boxes out in the middle of our fields. These are to be used in the fall for draining the irrigation water before harvest. We need an extra rice box to help remove the water rapidly through the thick stand of rice. But we don't need them now for the initial spring flood or even throughout the growing season. So I board them up, oh, there's the land plane, and seal them off with plastic for most of the year. And after all this tractor work and shovel work, the ground out here is starting to look a lot like a rice field again. We've made a lot of great progress in the second week of groundwork. Next week, we'll be ready for fertilizer. It's been a real smooth planting season thus far, and I hope it continues, because we still have a lot of work to do before seeding. Well, I hope you continue to follow along with me. I hope you enjoyed this brief history of our D7 Caterpillar Bulldozer and the crawler tractors that are used out here in the California rice fields. I had fun. Wish I could post more videos more often, but I'm just too busy. You understand, right? Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this tractor video, and I'll see you next week for week 3 of the 2019 planting season for California rice. Bye-bye. I pledge allegiance to YouTube to upload a new tractor video every week in order to stay relevant. In the algorithm we trust, even if I'm too busy with farm work, deliver me from comment trolls, and in the name of views and likes, under social media we live, indivisible with entertainment for all.